otherworldly iridescence. Each sickle, when pressed, releases a unique chord. Its sound, a kaleidoscope of emotions and memories, crafted from the finest strands spun from starlight. Whisper tales of love and loss, joy and sorrow, woven into the lion's roar. Come home. Bathing in the ethereal glow of a celestial sunrise beneath a consistency from 7 billion love and light. Codex emerges, whispering secrets of the universe. Of a crafted from a living tapestry of stardust, shimmers with the faint luminescence of 1,000 constellations. You, the dust of June, carved onto the cover, and swirling glitz of pure light is the codex's main line. Each cell a constellation comes to life as fingers trace the inscription. A soft melody hums into existence, each note a vibrant gemstone plucked from the celestial vault. Emerald sickles, their blades honed from stardust and moonlight, serve as the sun's musical keys, woven into the verdant tendrils of vines that climb the cover. They shimmer with an otherworldly iridescence. Each sickle, when pressed, releases a unique chord. Its sound, a kaleidoscope of emotions and memories, crafted from the finest strands spun from starlight. Whisper tales of love and loss, joy and sorrow, woven into the lion's roar. Come home. Bathing in the ethereal glow of a celestial sunrise beneath a consistency from 7 billion love and light. Codex emerges, whispering secrets of the universe.
Greater light. Greater light. Greater light. I kept on my yellow today. I kept on what I had on at work. I said, well, might as well. As soon as I got off, I was ready to hit the live. And then something told me, something I need you to see. I need you to see this, and I need you to pay attention. And everything I got set up is not what I had to bring. Because what I had to bring was for show. Yeah, I was going to be talking about them slave masters and stuff. Huh? Look, communion. Thought communion was every first Sunday on the second Sunday of the first Sabbath of the last of the month. Huh? Communion. Greater light, Chief Engine Duche. Wow. Ooh, you coming again? Oh, can't stop is coming. King Elliot. Greater light. Yep, I waited just, it's like I put more mango in here than I did beets. Ooh, this tastes better than yesterday. And then I put a whole lemon. Gen 2 gone. Welcome, welcome. Huh? It's some, I don't know what to call it. Because if I say bloody, then they'll be going, running, talking about she drinking blood over there. Let me tell you. When I woke up this morning, my veins were so green. I could see it was green, looking like Incredible Hulk coming out. I ain't seen my veins look like that. You know, I have different type of anemias, alpha thalassemia combined with sickle cell anemia. Alpha, that's what they titled it. Man gave me that they put that name against my blood. Alpha thalassemia, which is Mediterranean sea blood, or the thalassa cord. And I'm not on the beta side, so it affects my children, but it skips generations. And we don't have that Down syndrome look on our side. So it's 2 thalassemia breakoffs. It's the beta. That's usually on the pale side, which they all still, we all related. And then, yes. And so I usually can't see my veins and stuff. It's hard for them to get my veins. I'm talking about when I woke up this morning, they was like just popping out. I was like, oh, look at that, drinking up the wine. Huh? So let me start off. With my affirmation, you can repeat it with me. You don't have to repeat it at all. You can pass it on. Huh? I can tell you it was working for me. Huh? Even down to the growth, the little worm or whatever it was wiggling out of my eye, coming out of my eye. I'm talking about it had got so bad I was wearing, y'all remember when I was wearing a patch over my eye, remember? It had got that bad. It was just messing with my sight and all. Just looked like something in the way. So I started wearing a patch over my eye. They told me I was going to have to go and let them stick something to slice it off, burn it off, or whatever it was. I ain't want nothing near my eye. But even that gone. When I told my daughter, I think she thought I was exaggerating. So when she got here Friday, she said, it's gone for real. I was like, yeah, there ain't nothing left but the little proof that it was there. Yep. Yes, sir. But back to it. My mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I'm always poised, balanced, serene, and calm, knowing that God will provide the perfect solution to not some of my needs, not a little bit of my needs, not an ounce of my needs. All my needs. And you can say amen, and you can say Selah. I'm going to say my new ending of my prayers to God is, God, you promised. You promised. Huh? Come through on it. All right. Probably tomorrow, and from here on, I'm going to go back to not showing my face. Because I don't want it to be for show. But I want it to be for show. I wanted to end for show. They need to stop they mess for show. Jesus said they doing it for show. I'm going to read that first. I'm going to read that before I get into what I want to get into, because I don't want to cover it. What the hags got in store. What I'm praying is that God is going to keep his promise, and what they got planned for the children ain't finna go down. Period. So if that means his coming got to happen before what they got planned in that federal register, like I said, what makes the difference in this time and all the times before with Revelation is they done figured out how they can own your soul. They gotta have the rights to your soul. And they almost finished with all the little stuff that people got to sign off on that they don't even realize they signing off on, Y'all know how it goes. The story goes in Revelation. You're going to have a choice. And you could sign on to get the mark of the beast, or you could sign on to get sealed by the love and light of Christ. Let me read this first. Let me get into the scripture. I'm going to start off with the scripture first. They might not like what I have to say, so maybe tomorrow I may not have the slaves they got me on, what you call it. I do the best that I could do. I think I do very well according to how they assigned us to do. But because I know they be coming over here watching and they want me to shut up, and they literally trying to give me a chance. They like, well, look, you can't do this part because your standing is in the big offices. Your class standing. Yeah, you do good. You did good. You might have missed only one, but you're not doing what we need you to do. We need you to take this off and shut up. Huh? Huh? I'm going to talk to them like Jesus did. I'm reading from the Bible. For my religious disclaimer. I don't have to say nothing else. This is my disclaimer. The word of God. This is my disclaimer. And in my disclaimer, I have not mentioned titles of any entities or anything. I have the right to voice with caution. Huh? I could beat around the mulberry bush. They've been doing it for centuries. I mean, they've been doing it for thousands of years. I mean, every time they dig up stuff, they find stuff older and older. They just say they found pyramids that's older than the pyramids in Giza. Right over here. All around the mulberry. Let me get to the story. Then Jesus said to the crowds and to his disciples, you would think these leaders, and these governments were Moses. The way they keep making up so many laws and lies. And of course, you should obey their every whim, right? See his exclamation point behind that. He was being sarcastic. It may be all right to do what they say, but above anything else, don't you follow their example. For they don't do what they tell you to do. They load you with impossible demands that they themselves don't even try to keep. I'm just going to use me as a testimony service right now, just on that little script right there. Like, they expect you to have things known to a particular way when they themselves don't even know it. All the way up to the high ups. They're like, well, we don't even know it. But if you miss one on your third or fourth week, not just me alone, not everybody else. Then I'm going to still give it the best that I got, like Ephesians 6 said. Giving you the best that I got. Yes, I am. I bet everything on that ring around the kingdom that's coming, with so many different shades of jasper, all the different shades of green, Yeah, that's right. I bet everything on that rainbow ring. Everything they do is done for show. But listen, when I heard it, this is what I heard. Everything they are doing is done for show. Yes, sir. Everything they doing is done. God gonna keep his promise, Yes, he is. They act holy by wearing on their arms little prayer boxes with scriptures and verses inside. And by lengthening the memorial fringes on their robes. And how they love to sit at the head of the table at banquets. I could be talking, he could have been talking about me. I don't know. I ain't never like to sit at the head of the table of banquets. I like to sit at the table with the children. I'm serious. If we go back and could turn on a travel back in time video where there's always some big event and you'll see all the grown people. I'm talking about weddings and all, Thanksgiving and all. You'll always catch me with the children. I ain't lying. The last big wedding I went to, I'm talking about I danced and played with them children till I couldn't dance no more. So no, I don't like to sit at the head of banquet tables. Mm-mm. I'm just saying, I'm not pointing fingers at nobody. I'm just reading what Jesus said. Take that to the masters. Let them know. I'm just reading what Jesus said. And by lengthening their memorial fringes on their robes, a Memorial Day over here, a Memorial Day over there, they're going to lengthen their Memorial Day by having that eclipse go over Carbondale, Illinois, which is the first at high noon, Little Egypt on this side of the earth, where the first Memorial Day was celebrated, right there at Woodlawn Cemetery, where all the Civil War veterans, the first Civil War, where they located at, most of them, the majority of them. That's lengthening for a 2 hour and 45 minute eclipse. I'm just saying. And how they love to sit at the head of the table of banquets and in the reserved pews in the synagogue. How they enjoy the difference paid them on the streets and to be called rabbi and master. They're talking about me. They ain't talking about me. Jesus ain't talking about me. See, you have some that love to be called rabbi, but nobody called me rabbi. And then you have some that just know that they are rabbi. A ra, ab, a-I. I'm just saying. They called Jesus rabbi. Jesus said, don't you call me rabbi, even though I know where I'm from. You don't really know. Because if you knew, you would do better. Every time they try to call Jesus something, Jesus said, no, don't call me master. Don't you call me savior. I know who I am, but I don't think you know who my father is. Don't ever let anyone call you that. For only God is your rabbi. And all of you are on the same level as brothers. And don't you address anyone here on earth as father. Now I know what you mean, Chief Engineer Dushewa. And don't address anyone here on earth as father. For only God in heaven should be addressed like that. I told you I learned a lot from you. Look, everybody left. And don't be called master. For only one is your master, even the Messiah. The more lowly your service to others, the greater you are. Yep. I humbly bow. To be the greatest, be a servant. Boy, I'm telling you. A pilgrim and a stranger and a servant. But those who think themselves great shall be disappointed. That's why I don't feel bad. I'm serious. Every time the system looked like it was shutting me out today, I say, oh, what? Is my time up? No, we want you to sit here and suffer a little bit longer. Oh, I'm not suffering, believe me. I'm not. Believe it. But I'm going to do my best. Huh? I always do the best that I can. When I've done the best I can, and there's nothing that can be said, may the work I've done speak for me. You remember that song, Chief Engine? I realized they used your name, right? But they spelled it different. They spelled it DOOSHUA or something. It ain't you. But I sure see that's what I get. Sometimes I put these streams on and walk away and just be listening to it. I don't sit there and watch my phone unless I be in there in the chat sometimes. But I listen and walk away. I just kept hearing Dushawa, Dushawa, Dushawa. It wasn't talking about you. I went to check and make sure today. That's a code. So let me finish. Woe to the leaders. That's what I say. Woe to the leaders and you other religious leaders, you hypocrites. For you won't let others into the kingdom of heaven, and you won't go in yourselves. And you pretend to be holy with all your long public prayers in the streets, while you are evicting widows, huh? Kidnapping children, poisoning people's food, dirtying up the water, huh? Adding sugar and taking sugar away where people got to get shots. Putting cancer cells where cancer don't exist. So people got to pay for cancer medication $20,000, $30,000 a pop. I'm just saying, evicting widows from their homes and everything else y'all doing. Hypocrites. Yes, woe upon you, hypocrites. I'm just reading what Jesus said. For you go all the lengths to make one convert. How you make them jump through hoops. You know, they did that to me. Made me jump through hoops. But this time, I'm ready and prepared for the final battle. And then turn them into twice the son of hell you yourselves are. That's what they do. That's what they doing. If they could get, look, you got to go through this battery test and this battery test and this battery test and this battery test. And we're going to research and develop on you until we get you to be twice the son of hell. Roof, roof. Blind guides, woe upon you, for your rule is that to swear by God's temple means nothing. You could break that oath, but to swear by the gold temple is binding, huh? Binding, blinding fools. Which is greater, the gold or the temple that sanctifies the gold? And you say that you take an oath by the altar can be broken, but to swear by the gifts of the altar is binding? Blind. For which is greater, the gift of the altar or the altar itself that sanctifies the gift? When you swear by the altar, you are swearing by it and everything on it. When you swear by the temple, you are swearing by it and by God, who lives in it. And when you swear by the heavens, you are swearing by the throne of God and by God himself. Yes, woe upon you, Pharisees, and you other religious leaders, you hypocrites. For you tied down to the last mint leaf in your garden, but ignore the important things: justice, mercy, and faith. They tax it down. Justice, mercy, and faith. Yeah, you should tithe, but you shouldn't leave the more important things undone. Blind guides. How you strain out a gnat and swallow a whole camel. Jesus was going in. He was going in. I would have loved to been right there at this point in time. Let me see if I can create that. Just sit back and keep going back right there. Whoa! Woe to you. Wait a minute. Woe to you, Pharisees, and you religious leaders, you hypocrites. You are so careful to polish the outside of a cup, but inside is foul with extortion and greed. You blind Pharisees. First cleanse the inside of the cup, then the whole cup will be clean. Woe to you, Pharisees, and you religious leaders. You are like beautiful mausoleums full of dead men's bones and of foulness and corruption. You try to look like saintly men, but underneath those pious robes, this pissy robes of yours, are hearts of besmirch with every sort of hypocrisy and sin. Yes, woe to you, Pharisees, and you other religious leaders, and you other leaders and hypocrites. For you build monuments to the prophets killed by your fathers and lay flowers on graves of godly men they destroyed and say, we certainly would never have acted as our fathers did. In saying that, you are accusing yourselves of being sons of wicked men. And so you are following in their footsteps, filling up the full measure of their evil. Snakes, sons of vipers, how shall you escape the judgment of hell? I will send you prophets and wise men and inspired writers, and you will kill some by crucifixion and rip. Ooh, what is that? Oh my goodness. Good thing I ain't scared of spiders like I used to be. Good thing I ain't scared of spiders like I used to be. I would have been left this whole computer and ran. Even things like that change. Like I'm not as, I don't know. It's not scary much anymore. Sons of vipers, how shall you escape the judgment of hell? I will send you prophets and wise men and inspired writers, and you will kill some by crucifixion and rip open their backs, the backs of others with whips in their synagogues, and hound them from city to city, so that you will become guilty of all the blood of murdered godly men from righteous Abel to Zechariah, son of Barachiah, slain by you in the temple between the altar and the sanctuary. Yes, all the accumulated judgment of the centuries shall break upon the heads of this very generation. Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the city that kills the prophets and stones all those God sends her. How often I have wanted to gather your children together as a hen gathers her chicks beneath her wings, but you wouldn't let me. And now your house is left to you desolate. For I tell you this, you will never see me again until you are ready to welcome the one that sent you from God. Wait a minute. Let me read that last part one more time. For I tell you this, you will never see me again until you are ready to welcome the one sent to you from God. God, you promised. And you said, I will never see you again until I am ready to welcome the one who sent to me from you. And I said, I'm ready. I said, God, you promised. Let's get it. Huh? Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. Because of that, reading that, now I don't feel like going over this. I really don't. I really don't. Let me share just a little bit of it. You know what a hag is, right? You know what a hag is? Chief introduce you why. Well, here in the Federal Register, oh, here's a message to Hawaii. They're about to do something with 19,000 acres. 19,000 acres of Hawaii property is about to be something done to it. And what they're doing right now is going ahead and gathering up all the things they want to preserve from that areas or area that is going to be affected. If you don't believe me, you don't have to believe me. You could go check it out for yourself. Anybody who's living in the Hawaiian area, you could go check it out. But like I said before, anytime they're going to do something, burn down a city, a storm is going to, if it's man-made, all of the things that they do have control over. If they're going to flood out a city, they put it in the Federal Register. Yep, something with Albany is about to go down too. Anything that they gonna do, they put it in the Federal Register. They let you know ahead of time, so you can't say you didn't have time to prepare, you didn't have time to leave. We put it out there for you. 19,000 acres, 19,000 plus some acres is something going to happen with Federal Register. This is not a prophecy. This isn't no what you call it. No, ooh, look at what I see. This is what they said here. You might want to go there and call them and tell them, please don't do it. Now, this other thing right here, a month and a half ago, maybe, I saw something in the Federal Register the same time I saw the hazard zone, the safety zone for Florida. Before all that other stuff went down, they pointed out the safety zones for Florida, right? And I saw something about children, and this word right here, Hagu, was in it. And I said, this ain't about like alien children. It ain't just for those who coming across the border. And I couldn't, of course, figure it out then. And even if you read this right here, it may not seem like, yeah, no, it's just about patenting. Yeah. These people right here, the hags that are controlling the the monetary system and the patenting agreements and the list, even today, there's list about CHIPS Act, about the Bitcoin, but the patenting that they're doing here, they are going to start off by patenting the children. They've been working on how they can patent the children. So I guess they'll do it to the children first before they do it to the adults, where you know how the little dogs and cats have chips? And there are some children that have been chipped already. But now they have it where they don't really have to chip you. They could just sign your IP address, your physical being, as an IP address to the system. It's called DNA fingerprinting. Your DNA fingerprinting becomes part of the system. And through this HAGU agreement, the children now, that's why I have the seal of my son's seal there, that 1,000 seal on the thumbnail. They're changing, even in the reset, how the children are going to be uploaded into the system. No, that's not what this says. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and review it. I'm going to show you real quick. So let me magnify this a little bit. This is patent and agreements. Trademark patent and agreements, right? I'm not going to be long here about this. I'm not going to be long-winded about it. Design, application, English, indirectly through the United States Patent Office, right? Contracts, Patent Office. Okay, you don't see nothing here about children, right? Look at that. You don't see nothing here about children. Look, Paris, Korean Intellectual Property Office, the Paris Convention, and they have all these different, look, France all up in it. Remember, I was just talking about the code in from France in that book that I read yesterday. See this? See the date? So it ain't like this something I'm just making up. This is today's date. You see that date right there? Now, how could I be so sure that children are involved with the HAGU or the HAGs of the United States government? Intellectual property. How could I be so sure? Right here. Let's see. Let me share this screen. Oh, this screen is where I wanted to show that 19. Oh, it's 119,000 acres. My bad. I said 19,000 acres. It's 119,326 acres. But that's not where I wanted to go. Let me get right here and show you. So y'all, anybody got family in Hawaii, call them and let them know, come home for a few months or so. So here, I type in HAGU, the HAGs, and start scrolling. Here's one of them. See their conventions that they have? Privacy Act of 1974, System Records, State Department, the HAGU Convention. They say the protection of the children. HAGU abduction in connection with specific abduction cases. They have whole abduction conventions. No, that's not the only one about children with HAGU, with the word hag in it. Huh? Here's another one. 1980 Child Abduction Convention. Operation 1980 Child Abduction, their 8th meeting and Special Commission on Practical Operations. They don't say avoiding child abduction convention. It says child abduction convention. private international laws for abduction through the Hags. Here we go again. Hagu Child Support Convention. I'm just saying, they needed an extension here. And not only the civil, y'all know who, when they every time they talk about civil rights, who those children are. Not only the civil children, but the international child abduction conventions. All these things here about the Hagu, right? The Hags, children, parents and children, adoption, parents, children, adoption, child abduction, children, treaties, children, Hagu, children. As far as the eye can see. And the one for today, the past 30 days, the one that they come about today, says Hagu patent and trademarking, and you know it got to do with children. That's all. That's why I say I didn't want to come with this one. But what I could do is pray. But see, things are already written. And I could pray that this part don't happen, but is the children still going to be protected? God is going to keep his promise for my age, for my eyes. All the friends and children, when I was a little girl, I was always praying for children not to be hurt. And that when I had my children, I would be the mom that would protect all the children, and all the children could come at my house and play with and be safe, huh? And just because I had to be tested, beyond tested, huh? Devil say you can't have that dream. Use a lie. God gonna keep his promise. Huh? God is gonna keep his promise. And that's how I'm gonna close, huh? Even as y'all plan to transmutate and do things with y'all moon sacrificing and all that y'all got planned, huh? This is the last time, huh? What my title say? Wait, I wasn't even sharing that. Here, I gotta go back. Let me share it real quick. Let me share this tab right here. I'm doing all that talking that y'all didn't even see it. Look at that. Like I said. Huh? What my title say? For SHO. Look at this. See what I was saying? So you'll think I was just talking. I went in, typed in Hagu. The one that I showed at first, that's the one for today. Then all these come up. All of them have to do with children. That word, Hagu Convention, child abduction, specific child abduction, contracting child abduction, civil abduction, international abduction. Now everything, private, international, children and families, surrogate mothers. Huh? See, I knew when I said what I said last night, it really wasn't directed towards the beings that I happen to see. It's just something that I saw when I said all these women claiming, talking about we gods. If we was God, not one child would be left behind. Not one child would be hurt. You wouldn't even be considering the land, because what they considering to do with the land is take these children and have their blood spread through the land, or have them locked up in facilities somewhere, huh? They had Hagu conventions. All these conventions they done had year after year after year. Now guess what they finna do? Look, Homeland Security, the children the children, in respect to the children, the adopted children, the homeless children. Look at this. Look, 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 look. All that. And the one that they posted today, right here, patent and trademarking the children. You know, they ain't gonna get, God ain't gonna let this continue. It ain't gonna continue. It can't continue. God is gonna keep his promise. God is gonna keep his promise. Chief Engineer Dushua, thank you for bearing as much as you could bear. Huh? Greater light. Greater light. My mind is God's mind, and my mind saying God ain't finna let the rest of this go down, not on my watch. I'm not gonna be here to see this mess continue. My mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I'm always poised, balanced, serene, and calm, knowing that God will provide the perfect solution to all my needs. God, you promised.